Hey everybody, this is Russ from Retro GameCore. Today we're going to install the homebrew game Streets of Rage Remake on various retro handheld devices that are running on the ArkOS firmware. Now for this video in particular, I'm going to focus on the RG351V, which you see here, but this also works on the RG351P, RG351M, and the other devices that run ArkOS, such as the RGB10, the RK2020, and the Chi GameForce. Now, if you're not familiar with Streets of Rage Remake, this game is a fan-made project that took about 8 years to develop altogether, and it was released in 2011. Now, unfortunately, at the request of Sega, the game was taken down, but it's still relatively easy to find on the internet. Now, this game basically mashes together previous Streets of Rage games to create one big epic experience. It has something like over 100 levels, 14 or 15 different playable characters, and a ton of different enemies as well. And this game has been ported over to various handheld devices over the years, but this is the first time it's been available on the RK3326 devices. And it's kind of a rite of passage, and so I thought this is definitely worth making a dedicated video for. So, without any further delay, let's jump into it. Now first things first, go to the written guide that I have linked in the video description. It'll walk you through all these steps. The first thing you need to do is download the tar file that I have linked there. Now this tar file specifically is for the RG351 devices, but I have the other devices' tar files later on in the guide. Okay, so once you've downloaded that file, go ahead and put in your ArkOS SD card. If you're using the RG351V, it's going to be the first SD card, and obviously for the other devices, it'll be the only SD card they have. Take that file and move it over into the EasyROMs backup folder. If there isn't a backup folder already, just create a backup folder. It needs to be one word only, backup. Okay, once you move that file over, go ahead and eject your SD card, and let's put it back into our device. I'm going to do this on the RG351V first. Once you've plugged it into your device, go ahead and turn it on, go into the options section, and then scroll all the way down until you find something that says Restore Settings. Depending on which ArkOS version you're using, it may say Restore ArkOS Settings, or it may also be in the Advanced section of the Options menu. Regardless, once you select that option, it's going to restore a backup, and it'll show you all the files that it installed there, and it should say something along the lines of Streets of Rage Remake. Once it's done, go ahead and shut down your device, and then pull out your SD card again. If you're using the RG351V, make sure you take out the second SD card this time. Now, plug that SD card back into your computer, and now, in the EasyROMs partition, go down to the Ports folder. Within there, you should find one that says SORR. This is where we're going to put our game data files. Now, I'm not very comfortable linking directly to this game, mostly because of the legal implications that happened when Sega asked for it to be taken down. But if you Google and try to find the version 5.1 of the game, it's very easy to find. And once you have that file downloaded, go ahead and open it up. And inside this folder here, you're going to find various files. What you want here is the mod folder, the palettes folder, and the sorr.dat file. And those are the only three things you need. Go ahead and move those over into that ports SORR folder. It'll take about a minute to move everything over. And that's it, you've actually installed the game at this point. So eject the SD card again, put it back into your device, power the device back on, and then head over to the ports section in ArkOS. Now, if you scroll down to the S section, you should find the SORR file. Go ahead and select that, and the game will boot right up. Now, in terms of gameplay, this seems to run really well. Depending on the level and the scene I was playing and the amount of characters on the screen, I would experience a little bit of slowdown, but honestly, that was very typical of these 16-bit style arcade beat-em-ups back in the day anyway. So even though there was some slowdown in certain parts, I kinda didn't mind it. Okay, so that's how to do it on the RG351V. Let me show you how to do it on the RG351P. It's almost the exact same thing. I'm going to put the SD card in here, go into that backup folder, move that tar file over. Now I'm going to go into the Advanced section of the Options menu and then Restore Settings. I'm going to restore the backup here like before. And then once that menu is done, I'm going to go ahead and quit out of ArkOS, remove the SD card, put it back into my computer, and then go into the Ports section and then the SORR folder, and then grab the mod and palettes and dat file and move them over. And then I'm going to eject the SD card, put it back in, go into the port section, and start up the game. And it's going to be the exact same process for the GameForce, the RK2020, as well as the RGB10. Now, admittedly, the graphics on this game, when playing on the RG351P or the RG351M, are going to look a little bit worse than they do on the RG351V. And a lot of that has to do with the wonderful display on the RG351V itself. And this is yet another reason why I've started to enjoy the RG351V a little bit more than my traditional RG351P. Well everyone, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. I know a lot of people really love this game, and so I'm excited to see how you guys like playing it on these devices. As always, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you found this helpful, and we will see you next time. Happy gaming.